Hey guys, welcome to Naledi Dilena. It's your girl Naledi and I hope you enjoyed this video. I am making this video to explore the phenomenon of black tax. What is black tax? Is black tax used for? What effects does black tax have? And the reason why I really wanted to talk about black tax is that it's something that a lot of people go through, whether they're expected to pay black tax or are expecting to receive black tax money or receive the good benefits of black tax. Quite a lot of people have a problem with this black tax, and I just wanted to present such discussions to you guys. Now, the first thing that we have to get out of the way is the definition of black tax. I don't think there's necessarily a recognized definition for black tax, so I took the liberty of making my own definition. The definition I have here says, black tax is the obligation or duty that is placed on a relatively successful member or members of a family to use their wealth or success to help and assist the rest of the family. I will repeat. Black tax is the obligation or duty that is placed on a relatively successful member or members of a family to use their wealth or success to help and assist the rest of the family. So basically what that means is if you're in a family, you get good money or you have connections or something, there's this expectation from the rest of the family that you will share that wealth or share those connections in order to help the whole family. I also wrote something down here about the reason why black tax is called black tax. I would have liked to have memorized this, but no. So let's go. Black tax doesn't just occur to black people, despite the fact that we are the reason it is called black tax. This phenomenon can occur in any race or any culture, any continent, any third world, first world country, all of it. It's just that black people seem to be the most vocal about it, meaning we talk more about it or we're depicted to be the ones that are doing this type of thing. Anyways, so I said, it's just that black people seem to be the most vocal about it. Therefore, we got the name, or we are the reason why the name is black tax. It just goes to show that how we word things can carry in and of itself a narrative of a group of people that can be negative, or a narrative that is incomplete, meaning that it's not a narrative that represents the people in question as a whole. So basically, because we're the most vocal about it, or we are the ones depicted to go through this, that is why it's called black tax. We know all sorts of black tax memes, videos, discussions, all of that. However, it does happen to quite a lot of people outside of the black race. And unfortunately, we don't see that side. Therefore, we are the ones placed with this narrative that we're always, dealing with black tax. So, quite a lot of questions come up when talking about black tax. Is black tax useful? What is black tax? Why is it there? How do you go about this whole black tax thing? And I feel like I've already covered, okay, I don't feel like it, I know, that I've already covered the definition of black tax. But I feel like these questions can be answered in terms of looking at the camps that are for or against black tax. So I have a couple of points under each camp, those for black tax and those against black tax, and we'll be looking into that. Hopefully you understand or have these questions answered. I will say, for a lot of people that look at how useful black tax is, that question is probably answered under the for camp, and even those that wonder, why do we have black tax in the first place? Those type of questions, I believe, are answered under the points for, or through the points under the 4 camp. And for those that are looking at whether or not black tax is useful, is effective, is it valid, those kind of questions are answered in the against camp, or those that are in favor of black tax being removed kind of deal with those questions the most. Is it effective? Is it valid? Is it efficient? All of that. So stay tuned and find out. So under the camp of those that are for black tax, I have 4 points. Basically 4 reasons why people defend and uphold black tax. The first one being that a lot of families lack generational wealth. What is generational wealth? Basically, generational wealth is money or resources that are passed on from generation to generation, or wealth and resources that are passed down a family line or a family tree, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, if we had generational wealth, I would inherit wealth, I would inherit resources that would make it easier to provide for my education, for my life, and just generally push me forward. And then I would use that education, all the things that I've gained in that life, and from that generational wealth to then add on to it and then pass it on to my descendants. Therefore, that goes on and on and on and on. However, quite a lot of people don't have that. And so they don't have that extra push to help educate them, provide for them in a way that is satisfactory. And not just satisfactory, in a way that they want, in the way that they dreamed of. And so that's where black tax comes in. Black tax basically relies on those who are able to provide for not just themselves, but for other people, to then come in and assist family members that are finding it very hard to provide for their children. So basically, as a black taxpayer, what you sometimes find yourself doing is that helping so-and-so pay for so-and-so son's school fees, or helps with rent for university accommodation, stuff like that. And not just wealth, it can mean resources. If your cousin comes from the village to the city, it's expected that you host them, and not just host them, but take care of them in the process whilst they get their feet up. So that's where generational wealth or black tax comes in to compensate for the lack of generational wealth. The second point is that a lot of people believe that it takes a village to raise a child. Therefore, if you are a successful member of the family, you are part of that village that is helping raise a child. And not just a child, anybody in the family needs the whole family, the extended family, to rally behind them when they're going through things. And that's where black tax come in. When you help out a family member, when you give to their cause, that is you paying black tax. And that's why a lot of people don't even like calling it a tax, because calling it a tax has negative connotations. So they just want it to be called something like paying it forward, which comes to our third reason why people defend black tax. For them, they view it as paying it forward, a form of gratitude for the extended family that helped out when you were growing up or when you were in need. And I'll describe it as this. Maybe right now you're watching this using Wi-Fi that your parents have enough money to pay for because they have good jobs that they got through their good education. It could be possible that they got that education because their elder siblings paid for it, meaning their elder siblings either worked or had part-time jobs in which they would take their salary and give it to their parents, or pay it or use it to pay for school fees for your parents. And therefore, through your elder uncles and aunties, your parents could have access to the education that they now have, which which then afforded them the chance to get the job that they now have, which then afforded them the chance to now be able to provide for you the way that they do. And so when you look at it from a point of view of somebody who has benefited from black tax, you start to understand why it's a good thing to have black tax, or why it is expected from you to pay it forward. If somebody helped you out, help other people out. The last point is that unexpected things can happen in a family, meaning somebody can get involved in an accident, can lose their jobs, can unexpectedly fall sick, or things just happen, which finds us, unable to help ourselves in those situations. So what happens is that we call on to our family members to come and help us, when these things happen. So for example, let's say we need to take care of our grandmother, Ukoko, and we need to pay for medication, for the nurse, for this, for that. And we need those around us to help us pay for all of that, especially those that are more successful, meaning that it shouldn't be as hard for them to help out as it may be for the less fortunate family members. Somebody could get sick, somebody could lose their job, and in the meantime, while searching for a job, they may need help from their family members to provide for themselves, or if they have a family, to provide for their family. And basically that help that you render to your relative is black tax. So I have 3 points for those that are against black tax. So basically those that are against black tax, want it to be abolished, to be a thing of the past, they usually bring up these 3 points. The first one being that black tax enables family members, or especially enables those that have bad habits. So if you have a family member that is not motivated about their life, or motivated to help themselves, that is lazy, that engages in a bad lifestyle, they may not feel the need to help themselves out of that, because they can always expect money or help from so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. And what that means is that they don't take ownership of their own life, or don't readily take ownership of their own life. For them, they are to be supported all the way through in their life by other people. And that is a very bad thing to have. The second reason why people are against black tax is that it stifles the life, or the financial life of the taxpayer. So you might be somebody that's right now paying black tax. Maybe your family is expecting you to help with the education of your siblings, of your cousins. Basically what that means is you have less resources or money to invest in your own life, and you have to pay that forward, or pay that money or those resources to said person. And so it basically means that you have to shrink your budget, and that's very stifling. You might have dreams, you might have aspirations for the money you have, or a general trajectory for your life that is now being stifled by the expectation of your family members. And that's a very, very demotivating thing. And so what that means is that some of the dreams that you have to put them on hold. Even now, for those that are still going through school, they may pick careers or subjects that will give them more money, or that will or they'll pick an industry or career that has more prospects, because they're thinking about the future, not necessarily their future, but the future of their family. How will I be able to help so and so, this person, that person? And what if they wanted to be an actor or an artist, or something that doesn't have the prestige that certain careers have? They kind of have to put that on hold, because their parents or their relatives will be like, that one doesn't have money, da 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 da. It's a whole horrible thing. The third point is that black tax enforces entitlement from family members. Because black tax is such a, common thing, a lot of people generally expect you to pay black tax, or they assume that you're going to pay black tax. And so a family member can approach you and be like, hey, I need money to do this, that, and the third. And for whatever reason, you'll be like, no, I can't give you the money. Some family members become enraged by this because they have this expectation that you should have that money and you should give me. Some get angry like, oh, you want to be stingy, keep that money for yourself. You don't want to help your family members. Cue emotional manipulation, basically. But yeah, some family members feel entitled, or they have this expectation that you should give me something, seeing that you are the better one. And sometimes it can be felt with like family functions or some family get together, where the more expensive stuff, your family members are looking to you to provide that. They're looking to you to bring a lot more money, a lot more resources to take care of ukoko, or to help with so-and-so's wedding. There's just this entitlement, this expectation, this assumption that you will help out, you will provide. And quite a lot of people do not like that, with good reason. Black tax has its merits and demerits, which makes it very, very hard to decide whether or not we should keep it going. And I think one of the things that makes it so hard to decide what to do about black tax is that we don't have conversations about money, be it gaining financial literacy or being comfortable enough to talk about our money with our elders and other relatives. It's very understandable why, because money is a sensitive topic and it's a thing that a lot of people are private about, with good reason. However, I think we should be able to be comfortable to talk to our family members about the extent to which we can help, or the predicaments we find ourselves in life in general, or with life in general. I personally think that black tax should be modified, meaning that we should find a way to keep the things that are beneficial about black tax while dealing with the unnecessary and unfortunate effects that plague us concerning black tax. Anyways, that's the end of the video. Tell me what you guys think. Don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe. Let's have a healthy discussion about black tax in the comment down below. And if you're somebody that's paying black tax, tell us about your experience. If you're somebody that's receiving black tax, tell us about your experience as well. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. And yeah, hope to see you in the next